First Corinthians, I believe it's chapter 3. You'll know, but it's where Paul is writing. He's saying he's talking about the person who builds with wood, hay, and stubble versus the person who builds with precious jewels. And the person who builds with the wood, hay, and stubble, he says he himself will be saved, but as one escaping flames, barely by the skin of his teeth. Now that can't be a false teacher, can it? I have my thoughts on it, but I'd love to hear what would you say to the person who's asking, well, Justin, what about this right here that it seems like some people in their ministry are ministering wrong, incorrectly, something that's ultimately going to be burned up. It's not going to, God will test it with fire on the last day, and all their work was in vain. It was not eternal. It was not correct. It was false. It was wrong, but they themselves were saved. How can their work be false, but them be true? Do you know what I'm talking about? Is it 1 Corinthians 3? Is that right?
I believe it is. I've got my phone turned off. We just
okay. I think I found it.
Actually in my bag, so I don't.
I think it's First Corinthians 3, 8. 8 through 8 or 10, verse 10. It says, according to the God's grace that was given to me, I laid a foundation as an expert builder. Another one builds upon it, but each one should be careful how he builds. For no one can lay another foundation, right? That's like Ephesians 2:20, that the foundation is apostles and the prophets. We don't have any more of them. Christ is the cornerstone. We've got evangelists and pastors, and we're framers. We're building on that foundation. And so another is building on it, but they should be careful how they build. No one can lay another foundation. That's already done. It's already been laid. The foundation is Jesus Christ. If anyone builds on the foundation with gold, silver, and costly stones, so this is 1 Corinthians 3, verse 12, with gold, silver, or costly stones, or with wood, hay, or straw, each one's work will become obvious. It will be manifest. For the day will disclose it, because it will be revealed by fire. The fire will test the quality of each one's work. Verse 14 now, if anyone's work that he has built survives, he will receive a reward. But if anyone's work is burned up, he will experience great loss. He will suffer great loss, but he himself will be saved, but only as through fire. What are your thoughts on that text?
Yeah, well, we'll be saved, but as only by fire or through fire. So that the kind of the imagery there is you're going to make it into heaven, but your coattails are going to be smoking.
Right, yeah. Yep.
So it is a curious text, granted, but there's only two kinds of people in this world: sheep and goats. That's it. So anyone who makes it into heaven, they do so because they are a sheep. But there are teachers out there, preachers who are genuinely converted, but they either have or both. They either or both have significant error in what they teach. They're not biblically qualified to teach.
Yeah.
And not every Christian is biblically qualified to be a preacher.
Right.
So just because you're saved doesn't mean that you should be behind the pulpit. And there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, every Christian can't be a preacher, and we're not supposed to be. Right. So there's that aspect of it. There are teachers out there who have significant error. They're regenerate, but they've got some significant error. And there's a lot of preachers out there, even preachers who have sound doctrine, but they do what they do for entirely the wrong motives.
Right.
And that exists as well, unfortunately.
You're right. Yeah.
And it's not that any of us is completely free of pride. We're not. I'm not. You're not. None of us are. Yep. This side of our glorification, none of us is completely free of pride. But we got to go to war against that pride. We've got to put to death the deeds of the body. And there's a lot of preachers out there who may have sound doctrine. They may look good on paper, but they do what they do for the praise of men. They do what they do. Pride is a far bigger problem for some than it is
right.
for others. And everything's going to be judged in the end, including our motives, why we do what we do. Right. So yeah, there's going to be some people, as the imagery suggests, you get into heaven, but your coattails are going to be smoking.
Right.
Thanks for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, we hope that you'll take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can watch more content like this. Also, take a moment and give this video a like so that it can reach more people. And take a moment and click on the bell so that you'll be notified whenever we come out with new content. Thanks so much. God bless.